What's up, Waluigi? Trent from Trentendo here. This week has been a very big week for Hogwarts Legacy on the Nintendo Switch. We saw our first leaked gameplay footage. We also got an official trailer reveal. So there's a bunch of things I think that we have to talk about what is our what should our expectations be for Hogwarts Legacy on the Nintendo Switch. As I think that there are some things that we can expect, but I also think there's some things that are still kind of unknown and potentially could be worrisome for the Switch port of this version of Hogwarts Legacy. So before we hop into that though, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video so you guys are kept up to date with everything going on here at Trentendo. Let's see if we can hit 50 likes on this. It really does help. I appreciate it. And without further ado, let's talk about our expectations for Hogwarts Legacy on the Nintendo Switch. Now, as I mentioned, there was a couple of big drops this week in the fact that we got our first gameplay footage that was leaked via a user on Twitter. And then just the next day or two later, we got our first official trailer for the Switch, showing what it would look like on the Switch, as everything in this trailer was captured on the Nintendo Switch. So first off, we've got to talk about this leaked gameplay footage. I think it looked really well. You know, it showed the character running around in the starting area. It looked smooth. It showed him casting some spells and, you know, just kind of running and jumping around the starting area of the game. Now, one thing that I will also note is that this is not the most intensive part of the game. I'm sure that there's areas in the game that will cause a lot more stress on the hardware. Specifically, I can think of a couple areas in the Hogwarts Castle that when I played on the Steam Deck, I saw some frame dip there as well, that I think that Nintendo Switch will probably suffer from, I would imagine. And then, you know, as you get into combat, when you have a lot of enemies on the screen and you're casting different spells, you're trying to click through, you know, every different option that you have, I think that may cause some dip in the frame as well. So that is kind of my big concern right now. And going into even, you know, the trailer that was shown, there was no gameplay footage really. Everything from the trailer was a cutscene. Now, it was a cutscene shown on the Nintendo Switch, but it wasn't any gameplay footage on the Nintendo Switch per se. So that is a little concerning, that is some of these areas that perhaps you're going to be, you know, fighting a lot of enemies, or some of these more close, compact areas, we might have some frame dip. Now, I'm optimistic though. The one thing that we do have to also consider is that they were given 9 extra months past the actual release date of Hogwarts Legacy for, you know, Xbox and PlayStation. And with that time, you hope that they've been able to fix some of those issues and some of the things that maybe you saw at launch on those systems, and also to really just optimize and really hammer home everything and get it running perfect for Nintendo Switch. Now, the one thing that I will say too is that it does look good. Everything that we have seen so far for this version of the game has looked good. You know, the trailer looked clean. It didn't look blurry. It looked pretty smooth. Even though it wasn't necessarily gameplay, it looked like it ran well. And then even the gameplay footage that we did see is, as I mentioned, it may not have been the most intense areas of the game, but it ran smooth. It looked like it was a smooth experience. So even if we do experience some frame rate drop, I would hope that it's not huge. There, you know, almost every game on the Nintendo Switch has frame rate drop. It's just kind of a curse of the system, I guess you could say. Look at like games like Scarlet and Violet for Pokemon. Those games notoriously drop frames. But it was still an enjoyable experience. Now, I know it's kind of hard to compare that, as you're not really, you know, in open combat in Pokemon. It's a lot more RPG setting, you know, your turn-based battles. But I think that with that being said, though, I think that we can have some high expectations for this. I think Avalanche, they have high expectations for themselves, and I think that by giving themselves these delays, I think that they've probably been able to lay to rest some of these concerns that we've had. So I'm very excited. I think that, you know, like I said, I think there's a few things to be concerned about potentially, but overall I'm optimistic. The things that we have seen, you know, the footage from both the trailer and the leak, they give us reasons to be hopeful. The screenshots gave us reason to be hopeful, and every time anything has kind of come out, it's just kind of backed us up to be like, oh, maybe we can have higher expectations for this game. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts down below, though. What do you think? What are your expectations? Does this look good? Are you worried still that this might be a Mortal Kombat situation where this thing just doesn't run and isn't optimized for the Nintendo Switch? I don't think that I'm worried about that anymore. I do think that there are some moments in the game that I'll be interested to see how it runs and how it performs. But I think we can have some higher expectations for this, partly due to what we've seen and to the fact that they have been given more time to perfect and optimize this for the Nintendo Switch. So I hope you guys enjoyed this update. Like I said, make sure you hit the subscribe button, like this video. It really does help. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to kind of hearing your comments down below as well and your expectations for Hogwarts Legacy on the Nintendo Switch. So hope you enjoyed, and until next time, catch you later.